Ladies and gentlemen, this young man hails from Summersville, South Carolina. When I go out there, we will run up and down the highway from sun up to sundown. We'll get leads like never before, and we will get people in front of the business. He's done such a fantastic job. His wife is a regional director. He's a regional director. And he's got his partner, Reggie Larson, is also regional director. So they are closing in on the regional vice president position. Without further ado, can we give a warm welcome to none other than the great Mr. Curtis Evans?
Thank you. Thank you. We are really happy to be here. Hopefully we'll give you some information that'll help you build your business. I know everybody's doing well. The most important thing is you got your health and you're here. So that's a real good start. It's a really, really good start. So let's go ahead and get started here. Our job, as you guys know, it is to gather a few customers. And if you think about this, in the world that we live in a world called multi-level marketing, and everybody does it. I mean, we've made money doing this, and a lot of people become wealthy doing this. But multi-level marketing is simply, somebody like your car, and they ask you where you got it from, and you told them you got it from ABC car place down the street. They went down the street and bought a car, and you didn't get paid for sending them down the street to get a car. So unlike your shirt, you told them it's a great shirt. I got it from Sears or wherever you got it from, Ace, wherever you got it from. And they went and bought a shirt, maybe a different color, Sears or JCPenney's or whoever did not pay you for sending them there. This sort of thing happens all the time. It happens all the time. And somehow we don't get paid for it. And we're okay with that. We just want to help them out. They ask a question, we answer the question, that's it. Our business is a model of that. And I like to say this, and not to get too crazy here, but Christianity spread throughout the whole earth through word of mouth. I mean, they did not have any internet. Jesus didn't have the internet. He didn't have a website. He had an email address. He didn't have, there was no printing presses back then. Only the wealthy had books. They had a library. Wealthy people had a library. And if you were wealthy, you would send your scribe over to somebody else's house, and they would write the book. They'll copy your book down, and the scribe would take 2 days, 3 days, 4 days to copy a book down. He'll bring it back and put it in your library, and that's how wealthy people kept information together. So they didn't spread it that way. So they have a printing press. They couldn't make newspapers, flyers, and that sort of thing. But word of mouth worked, and so Christianity is throughout the whole earth right now. So what we're trying to do is something not quite that big. I don't know if we can do it that big, but we can do it that fast, because today we have this tool that everybody, I'm looking on this on the screen here, everybody's from all parts of the country. I mean, we have learned how to use Zoom in the last 4 or 5 years. And now, people live in different parts of the world. I remember Al used to have Mr. Thomas used to have a call on the free conference call file thing. This is now, I'm talking about 1996, 97, 98. I had a team of people on his call every Sunday night. He'd have a call every Sunday night. He'd have a call with hundreds of people on that free call. And now the technology's got to where it is right now. So we're enjoying we can see him now. Everybody just dialed the phone. This is all on the phone. And now we have an opportunity for him to bring us people that we never met before, people from his many organizations that he's built over the years. And we're able to glean information from them. So this is a world that we really should be going faster than slower. We really should be going faster than slower. Now we got to mix old school and new school together, because like someone today said they got some names and numbers. I got a couple of names and numbers, but someone got several names and numbers. We're always gleaning that. And the reason we're getting new names and numbers all the time is why? Why does he ask that question? Because you, in your group, your family, your friends, and all those people, there'll be a point when you've talked to almost all of them, and they know you're doing this, and they're not interested, or they're not interested now. So you may know 200 or 300 people that may come to your funeral. You may know 200 or 300 people that may come to your wedding. So you're kind of out of gas. Okay, you're out of gas. They will stop what they're doing to come to your wedding. They'll stop what they're doing to come to your funeral. So at some point, you have to learn how to talk to people that you don't know, okay? Because there's 8 billion people on the planet. The US population makes up 4% of that. Okay, we're only 4% of the world's population, but we command 25% of the wealth of the planet, and we control 40% of the wealth of the planet. Okay, so this is this small group of 4%, 4% of people in the world. We're a very, very wealthy country. So there's so much money in this country that everybody on this page here, everybody on this page could have $1 million and dropped into their checking account today, and the U.S. economy wouldn't even miss it. The U.S. economy would not even miss that happening today. So first of all, I want you to think expansive, that things are really, really big. So what I want to do today is I want to know, ask everybody, don't answer it, but do most of your friends have a lot of money, or do most of the people you know have a small amount of money? And most of us will probably say we don't know any really, really wealthy. Well, we don't know a lot of them, put it that way. People. So you're going to be talking to people that were raised like I was to be a what? An employee. And since they were raised to be an employee, more than likely they're thinking like what? An employee, how much per hour? If you bring me on board, how much you pay me per hour or per year or whatever. So they're thinking that way. However, sometimes we got to get around people that are thinking more like what? Business owners, because this is a true business. This business right here can create some pretty serious income. I'm gonna show it to you in just a little bit, okay? So what I usually do when I start talking to people, I'm trying to figure out who they are. And so sooner or later, once we got a chance to meet each other and I show them the business, and I got to sort of see it almost in an employee mindset. Now, business owner, they really get this. They really get this. Now, the reason a business owner gets this, let's say you were in ACN and you've been in a number of years. I'll just make this up. Let's say you're making $50,000 a month. Okay, I'm making this up. Okay, all right, that is just over the head of a regular employee. But a business owner, he could see that kind of money. And not only that, when you tell them you don't have any employees, when you tell them you don't have a building or rent, when you tell him you don't have this, all those headaches that he has, they're going to stop and take a look at your business. They're going to stop and take a look at it. The reason I started this business, because this business does not have any employees. I don't have to pay anybody. This business doesn't have any inventory. I don't have a building. I don't have the insurance, all those things that business owners have to put up with each and every day. So business owners typically get this business. They understand it. You may not recruit the people that work right next to you, Mr. Clark, but you probably can recruit the guy that runs the place, the person that owns that building. You probably can recruit him. You probably can't recruit the person that you work with every day, everyone, but you probably can recruit the person that runs the place, the whole building, the person with the big car and the big house and the plane. You probably recruit him because he could see the beauty of not having those headaches every day. So I want to show you a video. I was going to show you my website, but y'all see my website. Once I show that little 1-minute video, and you can't show them too much because you confuse them. People today are used to 10 seconds and then 5 seconds, I think, and then they hit skip and they go to the video. So I don't know the world we live in. They don't read much, but so you show them the video. You can't take too much time, and you need to get on and get on to something else. But let's talk about the people that's going to actually make you wealthy. You're looking in this business. You're looking for leaders. Okay, that's what you're looking for. And sometimes you have to talk to a lot of people to get to the leader. Like Miss Estrada may know the person that I'm looking for. Mr. Rick Kubik, he may know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody 4 levels deep that knows the person that I'm looking for. Okay, so you have to talk to everybody because you don't know who they know. My first cousin, Stephen Benjamin, worked 4 years for President Biden. So if you know me, you know Stephen, and you know President Biden. Okay, so that's just how the world works. Okay, if you know Mr. Thomas, then you know Mr. Thomas knows Mr. Trump. Okay, so if you know Mr. Biden, if you know Mr. Thomas, you know a pathway to getting to Mr. Trump. So it's not trying to sign them up. You want to get them in the business, get them started, yes, but who do they know? Who do they know? I remember Mr. Thomas telling me about, and he told all you guys about someone that he knew that wasn't interested in the company we used to work for, Excel Communication. The guy just wasn't interested, but he put him in touch with a guy in Dallas, Texas named Lee Lemons. And Mr. Thomas probably had a ton of checks showing up out of nowhere from a guy that he didn't know. And so the people that's going to help you become wealthy or well off or however you want to be, these are going to be people that you do not know. There are people you do not know. Yeah, you may know me. I signed my cousin Stephen up. He signed up Mr. Biden. And that's one leg. Another leg, you know Mr. Thomas. Mr. Thomas knew Mr. Trump. That's your second leg. And you just go on and on like this. Sometimes they don't come in the second or third level. Sometimes you got to dig a little deeper and go fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth level. The good thing about our corporation, our company, they can come in on level 188 and they're coded to you. So it's a beautiful compensation plan. And so I just want to make sure we all know, sometimes we're just upset we can't get somebody to business. Mr. Cooper's told me, don't worry about the money so much. He said, find out who they know. He said, hey, listen, let's get to work. If they said, well, I have the money in 3 weeks or 2 weeks or a month or 2 months, well, I'll get back with you in 2 months. I said, let's get started and show them how to have a PBZ. Now, they're not in the business. They're not even in the business. They had a PBZ with you tonight, and they introduced you to 4 people that you did not know, okay? And one of those 4 people said, I'm ready to get started. Well, your guy got a problem. So he was saying, just say, let's get started. I like you. I mean, you just say, Mr. Harrison, I like Mr. Mills. I like you. Let's get started. I'm willing to work with you. And he said, okay. He said, well, I want to have the money. He said, oh, let's get started. And all you want to do is have a PVZ. Show them how to invite 5, 6, 8 people, 10 people to a meeting. They come to the meeting. Out of those 8 people, one of them is ready to get started. Mr. Mills got a problem. Mr. Mills got a problem. So he's now all of a sudden he has $324 and he wants that guy to come in to him. So it's not them. You're not looking for them to be the destination. You want them to be a doorway to all those hundreds of people that they know. Okay. And if you can run into a leader, you're better off. I'm going to show you the power of this business and why so many business people are coming toward this business right now. So I'm going to try to share my screen. You guys know the problem I have with this. So I'm going to do my best. I think I got to better everything this time. So that's why I was a little late getting on. I was making sure it worked. Okay. So these are the kind of people you're looking for. Now, you may not know them, but remember, the people you know them. I want to make sure I make that clear. You may not know them. Like Mr. Thomas did not know Lee Lemons. Okay. You did not know that I know Mr. Biden or have which kind with it. You just don't know. So find out who they know. And if we wait all year long for them to get $324, and I'm telling you this right now, if they're 50 years old, 40 years old, 30 years old, whatever years old, and they don't have $324, they probably won't have it next week. And they probably won't have it next month. So sometimes you're waiting till they get it together. And I'm not saying they won't ever, but they don't have the value of a business like you do or like a business person would do. They see it as spending $324. They don't see it as investing $324. So it's just a different mindset. And they're not wrong. If they think they're spending it, they're spending it. Okay. So, they'd rather go to Beyonce concert this weekend. That's what they're going to do. Okay. So let's get into the type of people you're looking for. Before Mr. Thomas became an ACN or IBO, he was a business owner. Okay. Does everybody understand that? I was a business owner. Okay. We get it. Business owners get it. Now I was an employee somewhere, but I've already started to build a business because I did it with Excel. And when I was in that network marketing business, multi-level marketing, they teach business owners how to build a business. So when we came over here, it was a little easier. In fact, it's much easier because this is a much stronger company. So let's get on to the people you're looking for. So I'm going to see if I can share my screen, and we'll go to an example.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm just trying to make this so the light doesn't blind people from my bald head. It's amazing. When I first started in ACN, I was in the corporate world and, ran different businesses. And on paper, I was worth a lot of money. Anybody ever worth a lot of money on paper? Well, you know what you can do with that paper, right? It's different when you're cash rich. Is that true? It's very different when your cash flow is powerful, when your cash flow can do a lot of things. It's totally a different experience. And I remember when I looked at the ACN model for the first time, I go, I didn't really understand residual income. Anybody like that? Like I didn't understand. It was like a lot, I didn't get it because I wasn't trained to think that way. And then when the residuals start to happen, it's funny because each of us builds our teams in different ways. Most of my team was below my 7th level. Is anybody's team most of them below the 7th level? Yeah, mine was below my 7th level. So I couldn't even understand, like when I hit RVP, like what was going to happen. But here's the funny part. I had a great conversation with Mr. Tony Kupas and taught me about the power of residual income. He taught me about getting customers. So we implemented customer training. And I got to tell you, our organization is just phenomenal at getting customers because they really grab that and really love to get customers, just like I do. It's an awesome thing to do. But what I didn't understand is when I eventually hit regional vice president, the residual check that came in, because before I hit regional vice president, the whole organization was getting a lot of customers. I was like, I got my first check. Oh, I wasn't expecting it to be so big. I don't know, anybody else not good at the math that can figure it all out? I know there's some people that can do like right to the last penny, they can figure out I couldn't figure it out. And then I saw it and I go, this is unbelievable. And then I had to make a decision. And here's a decision all of you probably will eventually have to make, is what are you going to do now when your residual income is really big? And for me, I said goodbye to the corporate world. See ya. Not interested anymore. Too exhausting. Lost all my hair because of it. Don't want to do it anymore. Don't want to do it anymore. I'm done. And what's funny is every leg, here's how I relate to every leg. Every leg is a business unit. Every leg's my business unit. And each unit you want to grow by itself, generating massive amount of cash. That's why I look at my ACN business. And for me, it doesn't matter how long it was. Like I would have let it have taken twice as long as what it took me just because of the power of all that money. And I mean, the first thing I ever bought with my residual income, because I was making great bonus money, which is great, learn how to make great bonus money. And the first thing I ever bought with my residual income was my very first airplane. That was the first thing I bought. I go, this is so great. Here we go. Take it. I got more coming. I don't care. It's a beautiful thing. It's like, it's funny, I was talking to a doctor who's a pilot, and he's got a nice plane, very similar to mine, one of the ones I have, very similar to it. And he said, and here's what he said to me. He said, he goes, Franco, I've got to enjoy this plane now because in a few years I have to let it go. I go, why do you have to let it go? Because I got to stop being a doctor. I can't make the same money anymore. I can't afford to keep it. I go, oh my God, it never occurred to me. I go, I can keep mine forever. Yes, this is awesome. I keep flying whatever I want. In fact, I can keep building it and build more residual income and buy even bigger planes. Hallelujah. Isn't that crazy? But where else can you get that? I remember one time I was doing a one-on-one presentation and I was sitting in front of this gentleman and he was worth over $500 million. And he said to me, he goes, Franco, so tell me about this business. I told him about my business, and I told him what I make. I said, here's what I make. And he goes, oh, it's a nice little business you have there. Now, our lifestyles are not that different. Size of our homes are not that different. His plane's a little bit bigger than mine. I said, look, our lives are not that different. Here's the only difference. I don't have employees like you do. I don't have accounts payable, accounts receivable like you do. I don't have stress like you do. I'm sorry, I'll take my life over yours any day. As I told him. So he looks at me and he goes, okay, sign me up. I'm in, right? So that's the power of what we get to do, and it's such a blessing to go build it, and you can build as big as you want. Is it worth waiting for? Absolutely. So enjoy that residual income, build it, and then teach your team. And how you're going to get the access to that is getting a massive amount of customers. Become great at teaching how to get customers.
Thank you. Good morning. So, I was sitting here listening to Leanne and Franco, and I was thinking back. Mindy and I, we've been in the business for almost 10 years. It was 10 years ago in July that my brother actually piqued me about ACN. And when I was looking into it, I had really one main question about the company. And that was, what are they doing long term to make sure that they're going to be around? Who's at the top of the company? Because I wanted to build this business one time. If I was going to change what I was doing, I was going to go do something else one time. I wanted to build it so that I could create a lifestyle where I could really be with my family. And I wasn't going to roll the dice on just anybody. And I'm so grateful that we followed the co-founders and that they've laid the path that they have for us. Because here's what I want you to understand about the company or about any investment or any business out there. See, whatever's going on at the top will determine what happens down below in every aspect of any business, right? And if no matter how good something seems here, if it's wrong up here, this will be jacked up. If it's right here and something's wrong here, they'll fix it. And we have the greatest situation on the face of the earth. I'm going to tell you right now that you're in the right place at the right time because of who we're involved with. And I could never express my gratitude for the owners, for the co-founders of ACN and the opportunity that they've provided. Because when I got started in ACN, I never saw my wife and kids. I traveled all the time, and I wanted one thing. I wanted to be home. I wanted to be able to experience things with my children. I wanted to be there. And yes, in the beginning, we sacrificed. We had to give up what we wanted at the moment for what we really wanted most. And now today, because of our residual income and because of this opportunity, we get to do the things that we really, really want to do. We're there for our family. Like, for instance, our daughter's going to school in New York, and she has her break. She's not at home with our break right now, right? She's there for 3 weeks. Guess where I'm at? I'm home. I'm there. We're going boating during the week. We're going rafting. We're hanging out during the week. Our oldest daughter is getting married. Mindy and her are having a riot planning the wedding. And I get to be in attendance at these said activities. But when they're in the bridal shop and they're trying on dresses and I'm there on a Wednesday, you just have to think about some things, you guys, how powerful building and creating a true residual income is. And you guys are in the right place at the right time. There's never been a better opportunity.
All right, so let's just take that. The last speaker said that we're in the right place, right time. We've got the right co-founders, and because we have the right co-founders, we're in a whole different situation because these guys. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the guys that run the company are wealthy already. Okay, I'm saying that because they could have stopped this thing a long time ago. They could have went to the house and chilled out. Mr. Thomas took me to the corporate office years ago, and our whole team met the co-founders there, and they had the opportunity. They said they haven't worried about money since 1998. Now, who on this call can say they haven't worried about money since 1998, and still they're building the business? Okay, they could have just shut it down, went to the house, well, sold it and went to the house. But he said, follow the co-founders because they are really sincere. And we were in a meeting in Dallas with the co-founders. I think they were expecting a little over 100 people in there, and 610 showed up in the room. And there was a lot of people. That was one of the best meetings. I'm not talking about meetings. I'm talking about it's hard to explain what that did to us. Okay, it's hard to explain what that did to us when they mapped out the future. Okay, so with that said, that's who we're in business with. Naturally, that's good. We got those business partners. But then Franco talked about something that made perfect sense to me in his presentation. And when he started talking to people that were, nobody's better than nobody else, but there are people that got more influence than other people have. And when he gets to those business owners that have the influence, they can call. They'll have 10 people in the business today. I remember going to a older man's house. I was intimidated. He said, come over. I went over to his house and I went in. I showed him the plan. He said, well, how much it cost to get started? Well, then it was $600 to get started in the business I was working with Excel. He said, okay, let's get started. He called his wife around and found a credit card. She put it on the credit card. And he said, what's next? I said, well, you need some customers. He put the customers in. He got his daughter and his house and another rental. He got them on. And I asked him, I said, hey, what's next? I said, you need 5 IBOs for your 5 legs. He said, okay. He said, when can I have that? I said, how quick? He said, I can do that tonight. I said, tonight? He said, yeah. He called 5 people up and told them they're in business with him. He needed $600. He got a credit card, so we put it on. He put on the people, and he said, you can't do it. He was monkey see, monkey do. He said, that's not enough. You got to have your customers. And they all put their customers in. So I left there. Now I'm going to tell you a story about that. I had just got started with Excel, so it's no different than this. I started not to go because I didn't have enough gas money to get there. Okay, I did not have enough gas money to get there, and I had an old BMW. I went in. He lived in his big house. I had a parking on a hill, in his driveway. And I was worried the gas in the tank wouldn't get back to the car, the carburetor, the fuel injector to get me out of there. And so he signed up himself and 5 other reps with customers. And then he came to the door and kept the light on until I left at about 10, 11 o'clock that night. And the car cranked up and I couldn't believe it. Got to a gas station. I looked under the seat, found about $4 or $5 worth of change, $3 or $4 worth of change. That was enough to get me back to the house. Okay. So this is the ride that we're on. We're looking for people that know people. Now he called and put in 5 or 6 IBOs just because what? Just because he had influence. Okay. And he was looking to get out of what he was in. I won't tell you what he was in, but he was looking to get out of that. I didn't know he was looking to get out of it, but he was looking to get out and he saw this as a way. So these people like Franco, people like Al Thomas, people that have this influence, you got to talk to some other people to get to them. You may not know them. Join clubs, join the Kiwanis, join business meetings around town, join organizations, join boards where they show up. And sometimes they want you to go up and show them what you do. Make sure you I don't have any employees, no this, no that, the other thing. They will come see you after the meeting and say, we need to talk. They will come see you. You may not know them, but they will come see you. We need to talk because they're trying to exit out of this. So that example that Franco talked about, get a lot of customers out, access every time. How many customers you got? How many customers you got? How many you want your organization chock full of customers, okay? If you do that and do some of the things that you all know what to do, because he has a system, Mr. Thomas has a system, follow that system, and you too are going to be a winner. You got to be a winner. You have to be a winner because what the world is about to go through, I mean, this is crazy. I'm telling y'all, people are going to be looking for us in the next couple of, not the next couple of years, in the next couple of weeks. Things are getting a little bit cranky, a little bit odd, a little bit strange. I've been around 70 years. Things are looking different. And people are going to be looking for you. The matter is, in those 5, 6, 7, 8 years when things were just going your way, were you busy trying to make somebody at their job rich? Are you trying to retire your boss? Because if you're working real hard for somebody else, you're trying to retire them. And so I really want you to take a hard look at making sure that you get with the owner of some of these companies or the gatekeeper that was holding you up from getting to the owner. Get to the owner or find people and ask them who do they know and do that presentation with them. That's all I have for today, Mr. Thomas. I'll turn it back over to you.